1. The Three-Fifths Compromise, which became part of our Constitution, related to A. The metric system. B. Slavery. C. The tariff. D. The election of the president. Two, the Supreme Court can declare a law unconstitutional because of the principle of A. Judicial review. B. Due process. C. Precedent. D. Ex post facto. Three, the power of judicial review was established by A. The Constitution. B. Case of Marbury v. Madison. C. Case of McCulloch v. Maryland. D. Case of Gibbons v. Ogden. Four, before the Civil War, the South objected to high tariffs because they A. Kept the price of cotton low. B. Increased the cost of slaves. C. Increased the prices of manufactured goods. D. Helped Western farmers at the planters' expense. Five, the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom did all of the following except A. Separated church and state in Virginia. B. Prohibited the established church in Virginia. C. Established the principle of religious liberty. D. Required citizens of Virginia to attend church every week. Six, in McCulloch v. Maryland, the Supreme Court decided that A. States could not tax the federal government. B. Interstate transportation was illegal. C. Separate but equal facilities were unconstitutional. D. States could disobey federal laws if they chose to. Seven, California entered the Union as a free state in the A. Dred Scott Decision. B. Compromise of 1850. C. Kansas-Nebraska Act. D. Lincoln-Douglas debates. Eight, during the first half of the 19th century, the right to vote was most generally extended by A. Lowering the voting age. B. Removing property qualifications. C. Outlawing poll taxes. D. Amending the federal constitution. Nine, all of the following are accurate statements concerning Andrew Jackson and the Bank of the United States except A. Jackson's re-election in 1832 brought an end to the bank. B. Jackson believed the Bank of the United States to be an undemocratic institution. C. Jackson established pet banks in several states after withdrawing federal funds from the Bank of the United States. D. Jackson succeeding in stabilizing the U.S. economy by making federal fund available to all Americans. Ten, which of the following is a power granted to the President in order to prevent passage of legislation? A. Veto. B. Impeachment. C. Elastic clause. D. Apportionment. (11) All of the following are associated with the women's suffrage movement in the 1800s except it? A. Achieved voting rights for women in presidential elections by the turn of the century. B. Was led by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony before and after the Civil War. C. Developed a Declaration of Women's Rights at the Seneca Falls Convention in New York. D. Was another reform movement established during Jacksonian democracy. (12) According to President Polk, what was the nation's manifest destiny? A. To extend to the Pacific Ocean. B. To become completely industrialized. C. To live in peace with its neighbors. (13) The main reason Northerners favored a high tariff was that such a tariff would A. Protect industry. B. Encourage the purchase of foreign goods. C. Provide tax revenues for the federal government. D. Encourage foreign nations to buy agricultural products. (14) The First Amendment of the Constitution guarantees all citizens the right to A. A fair trial. B. Free speech. C. Bear arms. D. Refuse to testify against themselves. (15) The expeditionary force was led by Lewis and Clark was guided by the Indian translator. A. Opechancanough. B. Pocahontas. C. Sacagawea. D. Squanto. (16) Which would have received the most support in the South? A. The Wilmot Proviso. B. The Dred Scott Decision. C. The Missouri Compromise. D. John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry. (17) The spoils system is most associated with President A. Jefferson. B. Monroe. C. Madison. D. Jackson. (18) The election of 1800 was most significant due to A. It's requiring changes to the electoral process. B. Is resulting in the demise of the Federalist Party. C. Its vice presidential candidate was convicted of murdering Alexander Hamilton. D. It's being the first instance of political power being transferred peacefully from one political party to another. 19. Which of the following statements does not accurately depict the Federalist position favoring ratification of the Constitution? A. The checks and balances system was designed to prevent the three branches from acquiring preponderant power. B. A strong national government was necessary to facilitate interstate commerce and to manage foreign trade, national defense, and foreign relations. C. A Bill of Rights was necessary in order to protect individual and states' rights already established in the state governments. D. The development of political factions would prevent any one branch from gaining too much power, thus allowing a republic to survive. Anti-federalists were advocates of all of the following except A. Strong state governments. B. Adding the Bill of Rights to the Constitution. C. A strong executive. D. The common man. Which of the following statement is not accurate concerning the Monroe Doctrine? A. The American continents were not to be considered as open to future colonization by any European powers. B. Nations in the Western Hemisphere were the same as Europe's due to their shard republicanism. C. The United States would consider a European attempt to impose their system of government on any independent state in the Western Hemisphere as a threat to United States security. D. The United States pledged not to interfere in European affairs. Anti-federalists criticized the United States Constitution primarily because governing power was concentrated in the A. State legislatures. B. President's cabinet. C. Delegates to the Constitution Convention. D. National government. Which contributed to the election of Andrew Jackson in 1828? A. Voters were tired of the Federalist Party. B. Voters wanted to register a protest against John Marshall's decisions. C. The importance of the West in national elections had increased. D. Andrew Jackson advocated the spoils system. The Northern states developed an economic system based on all of the following except A. Industrial economy based on manufacturing. B. Strict governmental laws protecting consumer rights. C. High protective tariffs to protect northern manufacturers from foreign competition. D. Use of federal funds to improve transportation and to construct factories and mills. Jefferson was the person most responsible for the ideas of the A. Farewell Address. B. Federalist Party. C. Democratic-Republican Party. D. Neutrality Proclamation. The practice by which men were forced to serve as British sailors was known as A. Slavery. B. Embargo. C. Impressments. D. Enlisting. The Missouri Compromise, 1820. A. Drew an east-west line through the Louisiana Purchase, prohibiting slavery above that line, with the exception of Missouri. B. Was developed by John C. Calhoun and abolished the slave trade in Missouri. C. Permitted slavery throughout the Old Northwest Territory. D. banned the publication of anti-slavery literature such as Uncle Tom's Cabin and The Liberator. (28) To what does the Trail of Tears refer? A. The return journey of a runaway slave. B. The path of General Sherman's army through Georgia. C. The forced expulsion of Indians from the eastern part of the United States. (29) The United States obtained Florida from? A. Spain. B. Britain. C. France. D. Mexico. 30. The Constitution provided for all of the following except A. Establishing federal law as the supreme law of the land while giving states considerable power to govern themselves. B. Creating an unequal balance of power between large and small states with the creation of a unicameral legislature. C. Developing a system of numerous checks and balances between three co-equal branches of government in order to avoid a too powerful central government. D. Placating the southern states by counting slaves as 3/5 of the population when determining representation in the House of Representatives. U.S. History Practice Test. The exploration of U.S. history covers significant topics such as the removal of Indian tribes, the rise of eugenics, and racial tensions in the 1920s. Additionally, it compares historical movements like the Civil Rights Movement with modern movements such as Black Lives Matter. Importance of learning U.S. history. Studying U.S. history is essential for understanding the events and movements that shaped the nation's political, social, and cultural identity. It helps develop critical thinking skills, enabling individuals to connect past events with current issues and make informed decisions for the future.